This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And a pleasant good morning, September the 18th, Monday morning. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. John Scalzi now joins us after hopefully a relaxing weekend. Perhaps a movie on Friday night, John?
Yeah, there was a movie on Friday night.
Good for you. How'd that go?
Yeah, that was good. I slept through it, to tell you the truth.
I understand that. Yes, yes.
Slept right through it. But the weekend was beautiful. Lots of sunshine around. Very little rain anywhere across the state of Florida. All in all, we're in for pretty much the same thing again today. Lots and lots of sunshine and very little rain chance. The peninsula right now looks pretty quiet. We've got some clear skies out there. Few fair weather clouds mostly on the other coast where there have been some rain showers, but not locally. Locally, everything is dry and will continue to be so. We can actually thank some activity in the tropics for that. We have a daytime high today that'll top out again warm. Yesterday we hit the 90 mark, and I think we'll do it again today. In fact, we cracked it yesterday. Today we'll probably just be right around that 90 mark with a mix of sun and fair weather clouds. Little rain chance. There is some rain down the road. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about 3 active storms in the Atlantic right now. One of them threatening the United States with some issues. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Do we have to talk about that? All right. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now on this Monday morning. Already some issues there on State Road 70 near 301. Otherwise, nothing much to report. South in the Sarasota area, Bee Ridge 41 southbound as you cross over that major light there. Some problems there. And South County all clear at 5:02 on your Monday morning. Topping our news this half hour, thousands remain without power across the Suncoast, but the numbers are improving even throughout the day. Here are the latest outage numbers for our area this morning. In Sarasota County, over 21,000 still don't have power. Manatee County, over 11,000. That's about 6,000 homes restored yesterday alone. The World Rowing Championship starts later on this week. Hurricane Irma caused some teams to arrive later, but the show will go on. Our Jess Dowdrick has a preview.
Things have been changing quickly here at Nathan Benderson Park. The grandstands are going up. Rowers have been practicing on the water. It almost looks like a hurricane never even hit our area, but of course it did. Hurricane Irma slamming the Suncoast, delaying travel plans and setup.
We're constantly getting updates, checking, and just making sure everything was okay for everyone as well.
Rowing teams from across the world were scheduled to arrive in Sarasota right as Hurricane Irma hit. But those plans were delayed as teams tracked the storm from their native countries.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried. That's normal, I think, because when you see television in France, it was a big catastrophe here.
But on Thursday, Team Argentina was the first to arrive in Sarasota. All 69 teams are expected to be here for the opening ceremony next weekend, and most won't even be able to tell a storm hit.
Genuinely, minus a couple branches on the trees, the clear up has been, obviously really substantial, and you can't really notice it. Some people in our hotel are staying in different rooms because they had hurricane damage, but apart from that, you can't really notice it.
Hurricane Irma didn't leave much damage behind at Nathan Benderson Park. A few palm trees took a fall, but the infrastructure is okay and ready to host thousands from across the world.
The lake is okay. The park folks, Sanka, they have the ability to actually drain the lake in preparation for any big storm. So they did just that. As most of us know, Irma was not a significant rainmaker, so the water level stayed pretty much the same.
The grandstands are going up. The containers full of rowing equipment has arrived from overseas. The championships are back on schedule.
Sarasota is ready to the beginning of the World Rowing Championships. Yeah.
A few of the hotels hosting these rowers did lose electricity, but that has since been restored. Now, yesterday was the last meeting for volunteers for the World Rowing Championships. There was a show of hands, and about 95% of them had lost power at one point or another, but they're still ready for the weekend's events. The organizers say that shows just how dedicated and resilient the area is. Reporting in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
To help with the influx of spectators for the event, the Sarasota and Manatee County Area Transit will offer public transportation to the event. A week-long pass will be offered for only $20 per passenger or $10 for those 65 and over. You can buy those at the downtown transfer station on 1st Street or the administration offices on Pinckney Avenue in Sarasota and at the Cattleman Road Station on North Cattleman Road. Daily passes can also be purchased. Those are for cash only on the buses themselves. Well, after a week of no school, it will be back to reality this morning for students and parents. Sarasota and Manatee County schools will return to class this morning. The Sarasota School District announced an added bonus today, free breakfast and lunch for all students. That is courtesy of the State Department of Agriculture. That will continue for 4 weeks. As for teachers returning this Monday, many shelter guests have left behind notes of appreciation on whiteboards. Little thanks for the use of classrooms during the storm. Nice touch. One Sarasota elementary school and middle school got a little help this weekend as they prepared for classes to resume. Students and volunteers at the community school on South Tuttle finished up some last-minute debris removal. During the storm, the school lost power, had some trees fall down, but for the most part, the head of the school says they were relatively lucky.
Today is the day before our kids get to come back. It's been a long week of cleanup, but the school's ready and we're in great shape, and we have power and electricity and air conditioning and internet and all that great stuff. And this is our sort of last chance to pick up those few branches that are left over and give our kids the opportunity to shiny up their playground and be ready to play in the morning.
Well, they lost some landscaping, but none of the school's buildings were damaged during the hurricane. As part of the ongoing Hurricane Irma recovery efforts, contractors for the city of Sarasota will begin picking up storm debris today. Now, unlike regular yard waste pickup, there will be no specific scheduled days for debris collection, so get your sticks and branches out at the curb as soon as possible. Some rules to follow to ensure it runs smoothly: place your debris at least 3 to 5 feet away from mailboxes or street signs. Don't place debris in the street or on top of storm drains, and don't mix household waste, bulk waste, or recyclables. And as far as the county goes, the landfill is now open. It's on Knights Trail Road in Nokomis. The landfill is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. until September 23rd. All fees will be waived. Some good news for those in Sarasota County with roof damage from the hurricane. The county and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is looking to help. Members of the Blue Roof program will be giving away a free tarp for residential roofs. They'll be at the Bee Ridge Park at South Lockwood Ridge Road from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day this week. Roofs with more than 50% structural damage, though, are not eligible. Well, hundreds enjoyed dinner last night thanks to the Detweiler's Free Market, Farm Market rather. It's located on Lockwood Ridge Road. Employees worked all day to prepare the community barbecue last night. The grocery store primarily wanted to give back to first responders and FBL crews who've been working tirelessly throughout the past week after Irma. Their efforts helped bring thousands back to normal, so the owners thank them the best way they know how, through the stomach.
We lost power for about 6 days, and we came home and we finally got power, no food, and then our refrigerator doesn't work now. So we're luckily here getting food for us and the girls so we can have a hot meal.
The community came around. We got a lot of people that are customers that said, hey, we want to volunteer. We got from 5 years old to 80 years old in here helping right now. So it's amazing, the community coming together in this time.
The Detweiler family also collected donations in their stores for victims of Hurricane Harvey just a few weeks ago. Way to go, Detweilers. A movement to make the Suncoast more eco-friendly took place Sunday at the city's auditorium. Vendors gathered for the same purpose, to show how to live a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. This event was held at the city auditorium in front of the Van Wezel along the bayfront. Some wildlife officials and SeaWorld worked to rescue 5 manatees on the state's east coast on Friday. They were trapped in a pond in Melbourne when a creek overflowed and engulfed the pond during Irma. When the waters receded, the manatees could not get out. Workers with FWC, SeaWorld, and the University of Florida set up tents to keep the manatees cooler. They were then loaded in trucks and taken to SeaWorld. Fortunately, none of the manatees appeared to be injured. As for those without phone and internet, one communications provider has an update for customers. As of Saturday morning, Frontier says They had 700 trouble reports in their coastal south area, which includes Sarasota and Manatee counties. They say commercial power outages are largely responsible since their fiber network depends on local power. They have 500 technicians working the region and clearing over 2,300 trouble issues per day, according to a company spokesperson. The company expects to return to normal levels sometime this week, and they are waiving late fees for the next 30 days. Anyone with issues after power returns is asked to call those numbers on your screen, one for residential and one for business services. Well, anyone visiting the Ringling Museum on Sunday enjoyed the additional bonus of free admission. Now, the Ringling closed last Friday and reopened Sunday morning for the first time since Hurricane Irma, and free admission is just the museum's way of saying thanks for the support.
We were extremely lucky here at the Ringling Museum that we really have not suffered any major damage. We have a few downed trees, as you can see behind me, and some debris like a lot of people here experienced. But our staff and community has been extremely dedicated over the past few days.
The museum took several precautions before the storm hit, including pulling off some valuable works of art off the wall and securing the building. Luckily, the structure and its collection inside were safe. And admission's also free every Monday, by the way. Every Monday, always. That was Mabel Ringling's request.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so are you really serious? There's more storms brewing right now?
Oh, they're brewed.
I know they are.
So some of them are actually strengthening, could be major hurricanes going through some of the same locations as the last one did. So, yeah, tough going for the Caribbean. Did you make it to the farmers market this weekend?
Yeah.
You did? It was open and crowded?
It was very crowded. There was a sense of relief in the air. We got a picture, in fact, we're going to show later. We were out down there and good turnout. But really, people were just so relieved to be out in the sunshine again.
I think that's true. I noticed that was true. We still have a couple of generators running in our neighborhood, so clearly power's not restored everywhere.
Yeah.
But the heat goes on. We'll talk about the forecast for you coming up in a few.
Still have the latest near First Alert traffic, and we look at a disc jockey who became a voice for hope when Irma was at its worst. That's later in this half hour. And President Trump plans to cover a lot of ground during the UN General Assembly. Stay with us.
And tracking this very dangerous storm, Hurricane Irma.
If you've been ordered to evacuate, please go.
We are double teaming it in the Weather Center.
You got to make sure that there's no trees around that could fall on you in the safe room.
Of course, we still are impacted.
People are calling in with all kinds of questions and concerns.
The city of Venice is without water.
The power has gone out there.
Hoping you've got a battery-powered radio.
I'm not sure if anyone's shift really ends.
Seeing the community come together and help each other.
You know, we are all in this together here.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Explore amazing merchants on the Suncoast. Find great prices, products, and services. Go to mysuncoast.com to buy local today. Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, currently we have a nice start to the day. It's pleasant enough outside, 75-degree air temperature. Dew point is at 72. And we have some starry skies out there. It's very pretty. I think the afternoon will be mostly sunny. I think rain showers are going to be hard to come by, but it will be a warm afternoon, no doubt about that. 74 in Wauchula, 72 in Arcadia, 73 in Myakka. We have 75 in Bradenton, Sarasota, and Venice coming in at 75, 74 in Punta Gorda, or Northport rather, and 78 degrees Boca Grande. Punta Gorda comes in at 74. And in Parrish, you've got 74 degrees there too. So what's going on? Well, you see a little bit of light showery activity across the mid-Atlantic stretching up into the northeast. That's all part of the outermost rain bands of Jose. And for our area, we've got a few scattered showers over on the other coast, not a lot across the peninsula, and then back to the west, the effects of a frontal boundary producing some scattered rain showers and the potential of some severe weather in the open plains today. For us, it's been hard to find any rainfall anywhere across the state of Florida, except perhaps right along the immediate coast from Daytona down through about Fort Pierce. There's been a few scattered showers there. Kennedy Space Center seeing a few. But otherwise, the inland penetration of these showers is not all that great and won't be again today. It's going to be a lot like what we see right now on radar later on this afternoon, which is pretty quiet. Just not a lot of activity out there. Now, there is some activity in other places. Of course, Jose, we continue to monitor, has still some fairly decent form. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for the deep south. The combination of that high pressure ridge and the low spinning area that is Hurricane Jose are funneling our winds in such a way that drier air is just right over the state and is just being reinforced day after day by that northwest wind. Or eventually tomorrow, northeast wind as Jose lifts further to the north. This frontal boundary actually just kind of basically pulls up stationary, so we're not really thinking about that entering into the picture other than to help keep Jose off the coast. That's the good news. Several dry days, hot afternoons, and pleasant evenings with that northwesterly wind flow. That'll be the name of the game for at least probably 3 more days, maybe a little longer. This tan color that you see here, that's dry air on the water vapor imagery, and a lot of the coast is seeing that dry air. 3 storms, Lee, now a depression. That's kind of falling apart. I think we'll phase that one out today. Maria, that's a troublemaker. It's going to get stronger, could be a major hurricane, and it's headed right for some of the same locations in the Caribbean that got it last time with Irma. And it's just terrible to see that, but it does look like that's what's happening. And Jose, still a system that threatens, well, parts of the northeast with some at least tropical storm force winds anywhere from the Jersey shore on up through Connecticut and then into parts of Maine. I think Montauk might see some pretty gusty winds. Tropical storm force, certainly. About a 30 to as much as 80% chance of that on the very extreme eastern portions of Maine. Now, as far as the forecast track goes, well, this looks a little disconcerting, I know, but all of the forecast models continue to kind of take a strong major hurricane and then lift it out into the open water. So Florida, not terribly concerned about that, but some computer models will show you in the next half hour tend to push it back toward the mid-Atlantic coast. So, of course, that's one that we'll have to watch. It's a major hurricane, after all. Northwest wind coming in at about 15 knots today. It'll be a breezy afternoon for boaters, and the extended range forecast keeps us dry for the next several days. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. Checking the roads right now as you wake up on this Monday morning. A few buildups there in Manatee County around State Road 70 and also 15th Street East, otherwise pretty clear. Sarasota County showing some problems still on 41 southbound as you cross over Bee Ridge Road, and then South County mostly clear at 520 on your Monday morning. As Hurricane Irma battered the Caribbean, a voice that on better days provided rowdy entertainment became a steady voice of hope and survival instead. CNN's Michael Holmes reports.
Yes, that's right. 11 days after Hurricane Irma, and you got it locked on to Cool FM 103.3.
Before Hurricane Irma, radio DJ Jeannie Patterson's role at Anguilla's main commercial radio station was to play music and keep up a lively patter.
It's kind of mind-blowing, actually, the type of reception I'm getting from everyone, because it changed from me being the person to get the party started to you're the guy we're looking to for all the information now.
Irma changed his job description and his life. Since the storm, Jeannie and his fellow workers here at Cool FM 103.3 have switched from DJs to lifelines.
You don't need to go in the line or in the queues to get gas if your tank is on a half. There is no gas shortage.
This island was battered by Irma, and the days that followed were brutal. No power, damaged infrastructure and a shattered communication system. The station's transmission mast was a casualty of Irma's fury, ripped off its base and flung over the building next door.
Now, the mast clearly has been destroyed, but the humble studios next door survived. Staying off air was not an option, so DJ Jeannie and his colleagues knew they had a job to do.
When we came out and saw the damage, we were like, okay, we're off air. You know what? We need to get back up.
One jury-rigged mast later, 103.3 Cool FM was back on air. Just outside, listeners take advantage of a makeshift barber shop using the station's generator power.
For the radio station, always important, you know, we understand what is going on, where the hurricanes is, and then...
People turn to Jeannie and his fellow DJs for information, guidance and comfort here and on other islands around the Caribbean.
Tell me about how important the radio station was after the hurricane had gone through.
It was very important in getting information around, to know the whereabouts and what is happening is very vital to our community.
Vital to communities throughout the region through Irma, and now another storm, Maria, is headed their way. The job isn't done.
I've been in entertainment for almost 15 years, and I've never saw myself as a reporter or someone people would be looking to for motivation and information of that nature, of course. So usually it's, yo, Jeannie, when's the next party? Or, you know, it's stuff like that. So being called for this is crazy.
When not on the radio, Jeannie DJs at clubs on this and other islands, clubs that are closed for repairs now, or in some cases no longer even exist. Like so many of his neighbors, his job and his life has changed dramatically, but not his sense of humor.
And it has me here now in a state of flux, because now I'm out of one of my primary incomes. So I'm here trying to figure out what my next move is. Maybe I might get into journalism and take your job.
Michael Holmes, CNN, Anguilla.
Well, he filled a niche at a time of need. Still heading Good Morning Suncoast, Porsche shows off its first ever all-electric car. And at 5:33, a new version of the president's travel ban is taking shape. It's 5:23, and you're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
It's going to be a little bit time consuming and probably a bit tedious, but worlds better than it could have been.
We can rebuild. There's no problem about that. You know, you can put a new roof on a mobile home, you know, or new windows in there. But as long as you have your life, you know, that's all that matters.
Well, hats off to the Voigt family on Field Drive and their friends. They had a lemonade stand on Saturday. I stopped by to have some lemonade and cookies and show my support. All proceeds go to the Hurricane Irma Relief Supply into the Florida Keys. Sarasota Police brought some donations to the Keys this past weekend. If you have any pictures you want to show us of cleanup, there's our address. Send it my way at Ray Collins, ABC 7. On our Facebook page. John's got some great articles as well, and Jacqueline does too. So it's 5:26 right now. Welcome back to the Monday Morning Show. Glad you're with us. The massive data breach at Equifax is causing some scammers to try even harder to steal more information. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a scam connected to the Equifax hack.
Yeah, thieves are contacting consumers claiming they want to verify accounts, and then they steal the information. Officials say never give out info to anyone who calls or emails you.
The Equifax breach potentially impacted 143 million people. Porsche is showing off its first all-electric car, the Mission E. The company says it'll go 0 to 60 in just over 3 seconds.
The Mission E will go on sale in about 2 years, a price tag around $80,000. And as expected, the Emmys dominated social media overnight.
Twitter says the moment that drove the most tweets was when Elizabeth Moss won Best Lead Actress in a Drama.
The star most tweeted about on the red carpet, Millie Bobby Brown.
And the most liked Instagram post was this image by Melissa McCarthy with her husband on the way to the show.
Do you blame him?
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Quicken Loans.
Maria is an incredible mom. When it comes to helping her daughter, shopping for groceries, unclogging the sink, setting up dentist appointments, and planning birthday parties, nobody does it better. She's also in a rock band. Look at her shred. But when it comes to mortgages, she's less confident. Fortunately for Maria, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so she can understand the details and be sure she's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch laxatives. Stimulant laxatives make your body go by forcefully stimulating the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften, unblocking your system naturally. Miralax.
Fred would do anything for his daughter, even being the back half of a unicorn. Fortunately, the front half washed the shirt with Gain. The irresistible scent of Gain Flings laundry detergent.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, mobile help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, two big issues on the president's agenda this week, North Korea and that sticky Paris Climate Accord. We'll have the latest. Plus, a worker falls from a ride at the North Carolina State Fair. We'll tell you exactly what happened. And a dog that ran away in West Palm Beach turns up on Long Island. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, 5:32 on this Monday. Glad you're with us. Hopefully you had a nice weekend after the week we had last week. Let's go to the weather office now. And I know John Scalzi is a little more relaxed than he was 7 days ago at this moment.
A little bit. I burn off a lot of steam chainsawing dead branches and down trees. So I did hear that a lot in my neighborhood, actually, the sound of chainsaws. But everything looks much better today. I think we're headed back to a week where everybody gets their power back, their phone service back. I think by the end of this week, you know, we're looking at a very quiet, back to normal, everything looks good kind of feel. Weather-wise, things couldn't be better. We have a lot of sunshine out there. We have warm temperatures. We don't have much in the way of any kind of rainfall potential today, so the cleanup goes on under fair skies. We'll have a daytime high that tops out warm again today, coming in near the 90-degree mark, but there'll be relatively lower humidity for this time of year, making it feel, I guess, a little bit more comfortable with those 90s around. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, John, thanks. Talk to you soon. Checking first alert traffic now, some slowdowns on 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70. And then farther south now into Sarasota County, some issues. Bee Ridge Road as you head toward the interstate, a little slow go from 41 there. And checking our final map, all clear at 5:33 on your Monday morning. Topping our news, a busy week for President Trump. He'll be attending the UN to discuss North Korea as well as that Paris Climate Agreement that he backed out of. ABC's Arlette Saenz has this preview.
President Trump makes his debut at the UN General Assembly, his most prominent moment yet on the world stage. In his hometown, the president comes face to face with the very organization he criticized as a candidate.
The United Nations is not a friend of democracy. It's not a friend to freedom. It's not a friend even to the United States of America.
The president's week features back-to-back meetings with world leaders, the schedule described by one analyst as speed dating from hell. The marquee moment comes Tuesday when the president addresses the 193-member body for the first time. At the top of the president's agenda, how to rein in North Korea after its repeated missile launches and its most powerful nuclear test yet.
If North Korea keeps on with this reckless behavior, if the United States has to defend itself or defend its allies in any way, North Korea will be destroyed. And we all know that. And none of us want that. None of us want war.
Another issue, what will the president do about the Iran nuclear deal brokered by President Obama? The White House has hinted the U.S. may pull out of the agreement, which our closest allies still support.
What we have to make sure is that no deal can provide cover for the Iranian regime to develop a nuclear weapon in a clandestine manner while they're reaping all the benefits of this deal.
Two leaders not attending the meeting are China's President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Both of those leaders are critical in pressuring North Korea, but President Trump won't have the chance to make his case to them in person. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
The Trump administration is considering a new travel ban from certain countries. President Trump tweeted about a stricter travel ban after Friday's train bombing in London. His original ban proposed suspended travel from 6 majority Muslim countries for 90 days into this country. Our national security advisor spoke about this on ABC's This Week Sunday.
This is something that we're looking at, is how to protect the American people better, how to ensure that we know who these people are.
Parts of the existing order are already in effect, but the overall ban goes before the Supreme Court next month. Transgender troops will be allowed to stay in the military, at least for now. President Trump banned recruiting new transgender service members last month, citing medical costs. The military then created a panel to review how to implement that decision. But the Pentagon now says that transgender troops whose terms of service ends during the review will be allowed to re-enlist. The ban created a backlash with a bipartisan group of senators pushing a legislation to protect transgender troops. Those service members have been allowed to serve openly since last June. Developing overnight, the St. Louis Police Department tweeted an update on the ongoing protests in St. Louis. They say they arrested several people Sunday night. St. Louis has seen several protests in the past few days after the acquittal of Jason Stockley. He's the former police officer accused of murder after he shot and killed a black driver back in 2011. St. Louis police went on to tweet that criminals have caused serious property damage in the downtown area and that this destruction will not be tolerated. The U.S. is considering closing down its embassy in Havana because of the mysterious acoustic attacks on diplomats. The mysterious attacks left 21 Americans injured since last November. Officials told CNN the diplomats were exposed to some kind of sonic device that operated near their residences. The device could not be heard, but it left the victims with symptoms that resemble concussions. At least 2 of them had to be brought back to the U.S. for treatment. Now, Cuba denies any involvement, and it's allowing the FBI to investigate in Havana. Now to a shocking scene captured on tape. A North Carolina fair had a big issue last night. Watch this. A Ferris wheel worker tried to help 2 small boys. The pair were teetering at a dangerous angle, but before the worker can help, he falls off himself. Luckily, he is okay, and the 2 boys only suffered minor injuries as well. The parents were traumatized by the ordeal, though.
I felt helpless, and it was the scariest moment.
That's your babies up there. You can't do anything to protect them. Like, you're at the bottom, just lifeless.
An investigation is still underway into this malfunction. Well, Irma might be gone, but other hurricanes are now brewing in the areas already devastated by Irma. ABC's Scott Goldberg has a preview of Maria.
3 hurricanes are churning in the Atlantic. Jose threatening the East Coast, but Maria is the one to watch, gathering strength by the hour.
This thing really has developed pretty rapidly today. A Category 1 storm with 75-mile-an-hour winds. It's to the east of Barbados by about 150 miles. It'll become a Category 2 storm, then hit the islands Monday night into Tuesday. We've got warnings and watches up for the same islands that got hit by Irma.
Islands like Barbuda wiped out by Irma, and St. Martin suffering vicious damage. Its residents still scrambling for food, clean water, and power. And now another hurricane is on the doorstep with no roof overhead.
Any type of rain, any type of wind that we have as a result of Maria will devastate those that are already devastated further.
For the thousands who can't flee,
but we're gonna make it through, man. We're strong people. So one day we must rise again.
For the tens of thousands who fled Irma's wrath in the Florida Keys, a homecoming this weekend to homes and neighborhoods destroyed.
It's heartbreaking, but now I'm going to have to think about rebuilding.
As the search and rescue teams are still on the ground looking for any victims.
Task force, is anybody in there? Anybody hear me?
Scott Goldberg, ABC News, New York.
Hurricane Irma's damage to homes is causing some renters and landlords to have some difficult conversations. Sometimes damage is so severe that temporary housing is required. A spokesperson for the Legal Services of North Florida says most situations are best resolved by the two parties working together.
The courts are dealing with other matters. They've been closed for a while. They've got other things going on. It may be a while before a court would resolve it. And then you have a situation where a third party is actually resolving it as opposed to the people who are actually dealing with the situation.
So unless a contract says otherwise, a landlord is not required to provide temporary housing for somebody displaced by the storm. However, a tenant also has the right to drop a lease if an apartment is unusable. Well, this week brought some good news to a Florida family that is still trying to repair from Hurricane Irma. The family's 4-year-old dog, Relay, dug her way out and ran off from their home in West Palm Beach more than a year ago. Well, somehow she wound up more than 1,000 miles away on Long Island. The woman who found the dog brought her to the animal rescue, and they were able to track down the owners back in Florida. A reunion will happen very shortly. How did the dog get from West Palm Beach to Long Island?
It's a good question.
The doggy paddle up the coast?
I don't know. Metro? I don't know how they. That's pretty amazing, though. But
Yeah.
I'm glad it's all worked out well.
Must have been tagged with the original owner's name on there somehow.
I guess so. Chipped or something?
Yeah, maybe.
I suppose so.
Right.
Chipping is, you've got to do that if you have a dog or cat. We have some pleasant weather for you this afternoon. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Very nice. Off the latest and first alert traffic and just how healthy is granola? We'll have some surprising answers up next in Health Smart.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-671-4817.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
The 11 o'clock advisory, the new update now is suggesting that the tornado watch is over, although sometimes tornadoes do occur outside of the watch area.
Stay in for now because first responders still have to assess the area.
As information is coming in, we're just trying to make sure that it gets on air, on digital, and on the phone.
The storm's impact goes well beyond, damage and power outages. It also affects sports.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking pretty quiet conditions outside right now, an air temperature coming in at 75 with a dew point of 72. The northerly component to the wind is kind of key to the forecast today. We're going to keep that northerly wind, and that's going to allow us to keep it dry as well. 73 degrees Wauchula, 72 in Arcadia, Mayaca, 73, Punta Gorda, 74, so's Northport. All three cities near the coast that we report on, Bradenton, Sarasota, and Venice, all looking at about 75, Parrish 74, and Boca Grande coming in at 78. So across the region, we have a few scattered showers along the mid-Atlantic coast, not a whole lot reaching land right now. And we have some off the Florida coast, east coast, but again, very few of them reaching land. And showers back to the west are part of a frontal boundary. The peninsula itself is pretty dry. There are a few showers that kind of pop up right along the immediate coast from Fort Pierce to Daytona, Jacksonville, actually. But, you know, nothing really heavy. And as soon as they hit the land, they tend to fall apart. For us, it's going to be another dry day. I don't really even see too much in the way of a scattered sprinkle, much less any kind of showers today. A lot of blue sky. Jose continues to lift northward, kind of skirting the American coastline, producing some high wave action, rip current action, anywhere from around the mid-Atlantic all the way up through the Delmarva into down east Maine, really. There are some hurricane watches up for areas from the Delmarva up through New York and into Maine. And there's the potential, about a 30% chance or so, of seeing some tropical storm force winds right along the immediate coastline, anywhere from, particularly I'd say Connecticut on up through, or even the Jersey Shore, but especially Connecticut on up through Maine. And as you go up toward Maine, that chance of stronger winds increases. So not much for us here, but this high pressure ridge and Jose kind of acting together to bring our winds right in out of the north, and that's a dry wind for us today. So several more days of that, hot afternoons, and then pleasant evenings. I think once the sun goes down, because the air is kind of dry, the temperatures fall off pretty quickly, and with the lower relative humidity, feels pretty nice. We should catch some pretty good sunsets with this as well. With high pressure back to the west, you usually get some nice sunsets, and then when there's dry air in place, well, that just helps it out even further. The dry air indicated by tan all through the mid-Atlantic and stretching down toward us as well. Lee, newly named a tropical depression right now on the way out. I think we'll phase Lee out. It doesn't look very healthy at this hour, and I think it'll fall apart. Maria, a strong storm getting stronger. This one could be a major hurricane moving through the same general areas that saw hurricane conditions just with Irma. So again, some really tough conditions here. Mostly the mid-Leeward Islands as opposed to the northern Leeward Islands this time, but certainly Puerto Rico could see some issues, as could Hispaniola. Jose continues to lift to the north. Now the forecast tracks for these systems still take the two closest to the United States and keep them offshore. Now I know Marie looks kind of frightening actually, and there's reason that it should be a Category 3 storm just to the east of the Bahamas. But if you look at all of the computer models, they're in pretty good agreement of taking it up towards San Juan, toward Hispaniola, and then there's kind of a divergence thereafter. Most models do keep it far away from Florida. A couple of the Canadian models that are initiated with some unusual circumstances push it a little bit closer to Florida. But I think, generally speaking, we're looking at either a turn right back out to sea or somewhere up around the mid-Atlantic may have issues with this storm. In any event, it doesn't look like Florida is in the weeds right now, but obviously with a Category 3 located right there, we're going to keep abreast of it and let you know any changes in this forecast philosophy over the next several days. Northwest wind at about 15 knots for us today. We'll look for a moderate chop, 2-foot seas. And the official Suncoast forecast calls For a daytime high near 90 and rain-free conditions for several days. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. First off in Manatee County. Look up there at State Road 64. Some congestion as you get off the interstate and start heading westbound. Farther south now to Sarasota County. It'll slow down there on Bee Ridge Road. And checking South County maps, nothing much to report at 5:50 on your Monday morning. On to Health Smart now. You can find granola in your cereal or as a snack bar, but how healthy is granola? Mary Maloney has some answers.
Granola contains healthy ingredients like oats, nuts, and fruit, giving you important nutrients such as protein, iron, and fiber. But granola is calorie dense. Some contain a little more than 300 calories per cup. But when you add things like sugars, oils, even chocolate, granola can pack 600 calories in a cup. If you are watching sugars, carbs, or calories, limit granola, especially since it can be difficult to determine how much fat and sugar is naturally present in the ingredients. Dietitians say a quarter of a cup is a good guideline. Try it as a topping to yogurt or fruit, or mix it into a bowl of lower calorie cereal, giving you a bigger bowl without going into calorie overload. You could also make your own granola, but make sure you have your measuring cups handy, because even healthy, good-for-you granola can be high in calories and fat. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Still had your local top news headlines, and this inspired kid took his team to victory despite his own illness. Up next.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Welcome back. Here are the top headlines as you wake up on this Monday morning. For the first time since the hurricane hit, school resumes on the Suncoast this morning, and the state is giving free breakfast and lunch for the next 4 weeks in Sarasota County. Plus, the World Rowing Championship starts later on this week in Sarasota County. Some teams were delayed arriving due to Hurricane Irma. And the Ringling Museum welcomed back visitors Sunday with free admission. They actually removed some paintings for protection during the storm. And finally, a St. Jude patient served as honorary coach for the University of Memphis football team on Saturday. 17-year-old Wyatt Deal led the Memphis Tigers on the Tiger Walk for the team's winning game against the UCLA Bruins. Deal is from Missouri. He plays basketball and football for his high school and also coaches younger kids as well. He was admitted to St. Jude's when he was diagnosed with a tumor on his brainstem. Despite his illness, he still hopes to reach his goal of coaching or sports announcing. Well, he was good luck. He helped the team beat UCLA. Maybe they'll invite him back next weekend.
It may be.
Yeah.
You'd think.
Good story there.
We have some pleasant weather for you today. I know you like to get out and about, ride the bike, whatever.
Yes.
Looks like should be just fine for all kinds of outdoor activity today. We'll talk about that.
Good to hear that. Also, more local news and traffic after this. Stay with us.